What's up, Toronto Raptor fans? How's it going? That's two in a row against the Charlotte Hornets. What a nice game to watch. But I gotta say, I gotta call you out, Mr. Nick Nurse. I know you're a subscriber. I know you're a subscriber. So, what alias is it that you're using, huh? Are you Alba Mix? Are you Agent Warrior X? Come on, fess up. Put a comment in there, Nick Nurse. Put a comment in there because I know you're watching my videos. Because these last two games, if you've been noticing, if you've been watching, if you've been paying attention, there's way more kick, open three. Last game, we had one of the highest 3-point percentages we've had all season. Didn't hurt that OG, went bananas. But again, this game started out the same. Kick, open guy, hit the three. Or pass, hit the cutter. I swear to God, you could quote me 2 videos ago, maybe 3. I was spelling it out. I was telling them what time it is. I was trying to encourage the guys on what to do out there when they got the ball, when they're trying to move it. But we did slip into a little bit of ISO, into that fourth quarter, especially early in the fourth quarter. There were a few back and forth where we didn't know what we were doing, and man, Pascal just starts one-on-one. But I think they called a timeout, and somebody was reminding him, Mr. Nurse, who are you? Let me see. Are you 6 Canada? Is that you? The number 6 IX Canada? Is that you on my subscriber list, Nick Nurse? I'm telling you, I know you're there. Anyway, by the way, if you're not subscribed, because believe it or not, it's funny, I watch other videos and they're like, 58% of you watching this aren't subscribers. Well, it's kind of cool because in the analytics it shows me that. And mine's even higher than most of the videos I see. Something like 68% of people watching my videos are not subscribers. Come on, man, hit me with a subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything. Share this with a friend. And as I've said, if you don't like these videos, share them with an enemy. It's not going to hurt you. Just, post it on your Insta, post it on your Facebook if you still got that. I know there's got to be some oldsters watching these videos that still use Facebook or, heck, Snapchat. I don't know. Anyway, thank you. But yeah, back to the game. This was a pretty sweet victory. Let me switch over here. Where the heck did I put the box score? So yeah, one. Sorry, I should have said that at the beginning. I hope you guys know the score, but if you don't, 124 to 114 was the final. It was hard to keep track of at the end there. Charlotte didn't seem to want to let the game end. I mean, normally isn't there some gentleman's sort of unspoken word that you're not going to come back from 8 or 9 with under 30 seconds left. But Charlotte just kept fouling and kept trying to keep this game going, which, anyway, whatever. I think we actually ended up with an extra point lead because we were up by 9. I could be wrong, though. It was a little bit ticky-tacky back and forth with foul shots and everything going on. So hard to keep track of. But, yeah, they wouldn't let it die. But, they did decent from 3. I mean, man, their guy, P.J. Washington, was hitting threes. And Terry Rozier, 42.9%. PJ also 42.9. They were both 3 for 7. I was going to say they probably had the same number of shots. But LaMelo, I mean, again, it's funny. Actually, I was watching. Oh my God, I should get these people's names. I should write them down before I even say it. There's a guy with like buzzed hair. He sometimes is on with this other guy that I watch too. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I swear, I'll get your name. I'll check your name. But yeah, watching him talking about the last Raptor Hornet game, and he was saying LaMelo, you see him throw up these shots, and it seems like, he can't be doing that great because his shot does not look, like you would teach it. Let's just be kind and say it that way. But he's shooting 40% from 3 in this game. But yeah, Cody Martin 50%. Thor 100%. He only had 1 attempt, 1 for 1. But even Dennis Smith Jr. Oh, sorry, wrong line. Yeah, Terry Rozier, I already said. So anyway, I got everybody. Jalen McDaniels, did I mention him? He's the lowest at 20. But overall as a team, 39.4% from 3. Pretty good. The difference in this game were points on turnovers, where the Raptors dominated points on turnovers. Let's just quickly look at our Raptor stats. I mean, Mr. Pascal Siakam leading the way with 35. My gosh, he was 100% from 3, 3 of 3. Jeez Louise. OG kept his hot 3-point going, 37.5. Not quite as crazy as, I think he was in the 60s last game. Gary Trent, a little cold, 18, and they gave him 11 attempts. And Mr. Van Vliet only attempted one miss early, but Van Vliet, I think you might be also subscribing to my channel because you weren't pulling up your threes. You only had 2 attempts, so you weren't wasting possessions. You did get stuffed one time in the paint there. It was not great. But you waited till needing that three that you hit with, I don't know what the time was. I actually made a note, so I'll probably have it as one of my top plays of the game. But it was definitely at the end. It was the dagger. I switched over to my league pass watching Charlotte, and they were like, that's it, Fred, with the dagger. That's the game winner. That's the nail in the coffin, as they used to say on NBA Jam. Sweet, Mr. Van Vliet. Nice work, my man. Just quickly here, what the heck else do we got going on? I mean, Pascal was 84% from the field. Holy mackerel. But Boucher, hey, 67% from the field. Didn't attempt any three. Oh, I thought he did attempt a three. Oh, you know what? They don't count it when you get a foul. Yeah, he attempted the three, but he was fouled on it and only hit one of his 3 free throws. Come on, Boucher. Get in the gym. Work on the free throw. I mean, I know you don't get to the line often enough, so maybe it's not worth it, but it would be nice if you hit some of those free throws. But yeah, looks like some bench points again. Boucher only 5, but Precious Achua with 10. Juancho Hernan Gomez, who had some nice cuts actually in this one. 5 points. Coloco 3 points. Coloco is a fouling machine though. That guy, he is a like the slasher. They were making a reference. I think he had 3 fouls in 4 minutes or something when he came in off the bench. The guy can't help himself. Unfortunately, Malachi, no points, but he did have a couple of nice assists. So Malachi, I don't think he played horrible. He didn't even have too many open looks either, so it's not like he was passing up shots. Unlike Scotty Barnes, let's just quickly go through the starters. We got OG with 15, Scotty Barnes with 21, Pascal we already said has 35, Gary Trent ended up at 19, so his 20 game streaks are slowing, or his 20 point games are slowing, and Van Vliet with only 11, so he hasn't been on either. But Scotty Barnes, it's shocking that he had 21. He almost had a triple-double. He had 8 rebounds, 9 assists, but the guy is not shooting. What is Scotty? He is hesitating like, I don't know, like, oh my gosh, man. See, this is how bad I am with names. Like, I was going to say the guy that went from Philly to the Nets. Urgh! I got to stop it. Scotty Barnes is out there hesitating like he's Ben Simmons. Like, I don't know what is up with that. I mean, getting more offense maybe than Ben Simmons contributes usually, but man, he would only like throw up a little hook or a couple of layups. Now, he did have a couple of sweet plays. Some no-look passes that were amazing, and a couple of alley-oops from Mr. Fred Van Vliet that acrobatically, I don't know how he did it. I have criticized Mr. Van Vliet. I'm not just totally a basher of Fred Van Vliet, but I do sort of notice lately that it sounds like I am. But Van Vliet, his alley-oops are not good. Like, the guy needs to work on them. He cannot put them in the right spot. But he gave one to Barnes that I think went back and somehow was able to get it and put it in. And then the second one, that was on sort of the left side of the basket. He did another one on the right side that, again, Scotty's athleticism. He was able to catch the ball and then just sort of spin it around and lay it up. Yeah, nice work, Mr. Barnes. Nice work on the receiving end of those 2 misplaced alley-oops. You turned them both into points. So, yeah, Scotty, I was actually shocked that he had, I think it was 17 or 18, whatever, when the announcer of the Charlotte home mentioned how many points he had. They were talking that he almost had a triple-double, and they were wondering whether he was going to get it with the rebounds and assists. And I knew he had the assists because I saw him giving up the ball every single time he had it. But yeah, it was a quiet 21. But he was plus 15. So hey, I guess I can't complain, Mr. Scotty Barnes. But you should still try to put a couple more balls into the basket, biscuits in the basket, because you were there, you were close to the rim, and you gave it up when I think maybe you could have. Although Pascal also gave up one. Oh my God, there was one that he was so close to the basket he should have just dunked it, and he gave it out to Gary Trent, who sadly missed his 3. So they always look worse when they miss. Obviously, if he dishes it out and he ends up getting it, you think, oh, what a brilliant find. Okay, yeah, hit you guys up with our top. I'm going to do top three plays of the game, and then we're going to try a little rating system of each of the starters. So let's get into that. Actually, sorry. Before we get into the top plays of the game, I just wanted to actually comment one little last bit. Partly, Nurse, I was thinking that you were watching because you did an interesting thing tonight too that I kind of liked, and maybe again comment if you guys noticed and thought it was good. But the way he brought in the bench today was really interesting. Obviously, our starters were Fred VanVleet, Scotty Barnes, Pascal Siakam, OG Anunoby, and Gary Trent Jr. But his first, rotation off the bench with, I don't know, it was like 3 minutes left in the third or in the first quarter. He brings in Malachi Flynn. He brings in Christian Coloco. He brings Pascal stays out there, and so does OG. And then he brings in Juancho Hernan Gomez, and it actually seemed to work out pretty well. We kept the momentum, we kept the lead. Things were kind of nice, and then he takes Coloco out probably because of the fouls that he had coming into the game. He had three, as I said, in like the first 4 minutes of him playing. So Coloco gets yanked, and Hernan Gomez gets yanked, and he slots in. Malachi Flynn stays out to give Fred VanVleet a little bit of extra rest, and he sticks in Gary Trent Jr. and Scotty Barnes. And yeah, I kind of liked it. I gotta say, I liked it. And if they can get used to the sorry, Scotty Barnes and Gary Trent come in, as well as I was like, wait, I'm missing something. Yeah, Precious Achua and Chris Boucher. So yeah, no, I like that. So then he's got Malachi Flynn out there, obviously to distribute. Scotty Barnes can also, and I think Scotty actually seemed to have the ball a little more than Malachi, which is probably why Malachi didn't end up with any points. But then he's got Precious out there. Precious hit, a couple of threes, I think. Let me see, what the heck did you do? Precious Achua on one of three. But still had some other points, as we said, 10 points. So yeah, I like that. I like that. And Boucher had some points in the paint. He still needs to figure it out, but he's a good energy guy to come in, and I think he will figure it out. I have faith in Mr. Boucher, even though, as I said at the game, I was yelling out Ferme la Boucher. Crowbar in that little joke in there because I liked it. But yeah, Nursey boy, like the transition of the bench in to the game, and then obviously he moved those guys out and got the starters back in the later in the end of the first half. But yeah, nice work. Okay, let's go through the top. I might do just top three plays of the game today. All right, so yeah, my number three play of the game was probably a Scotty Barnes. So Scotty Barnes takes it down the court the entire way, and it's so great. I mean, he's dribbling it in, and he does this. No, he's not even paying attention. Boucher's like working himself down in behind the defense, getting in there deep by the basket, and Scotty, he pulls up like he's gonna, stop the ball and do a typical whatever that is the Toronto rotation of everyone spinning around, or he's gonna dish it off to somebody, but he no looks it just as he comes to a halt. So totally unexpected, no looks it right into Boucher, who threw it up for a nice layup. So yeah, that is my number three. My number two, I'm loving the passing, so I'm trying to promote and encourage and reward the. I mean, not that these guys are even aware that I'm giving them a play of the day or not. But let's talk up the passing. So my number two play is OG Anunoby, giving a really quick pass into a cutting Juancho Hernan Gomez, who had a couple of good cuts in this game. There was another one where I think Pascal found him, but this one in particular I put in the top play because I have to admit the speed of the NBA is, it's crazy. And for us watching, I don't know if we always appreciate it. I mean, I played some ball and I ended up in a game with some university college guys that were great. And holy macaroni, man, I was like blown away at the speed. I mean, I'm playing like recreational basketball myself with co-working people, nobody that really had any success. Actually, one guy that used to come out did play some college, and man, that guy could hit open shots like you can believe. But everybody was just chill. We were there to get a little bit of exercise and more about the camaraderie and going out for beers after the game. But Anyway, sorry, I digress. The speed is so quick, and the way Gomez was able to catch this pass and somehow still turn and get the ball because he's moving as he's cutting. So he's on the move. He gets the pass. He somehow gets it up quick enough to get the ball into the basket and then got the and one on the play. That was so sweet. So, Mr. Hernan Gomez, I see you. I see you. I think that you can work on some of your game a little bit, but I'll give you the number 2 play. Well, you and OG combined. But yeah, it was definitely you picking that pass out the way you did and turning it into a bucket. Fantastic. Number 2 play of the game. Okay, and then my number 1 play of the game was, there was some tic-tac really cool pass, but some of them were a little too frantic, so unplanned. I couldn't, credit that, at least in my eyes anyway. Please comment if you disagree with me. I'd love to see the comments. But yeah, my number 1 play, I got to give it to Mr. Van Vliet. He was over in the corner. He's dribbling. He even carried the ball actually up, but then got himself, into the far corner, at least as far as from the broadcast goes. Dribble. He's doing the bobbing and weaving, the in and out, the back and forth, trying to break Plumlee's ankles. And then he just did it was such a great little stutter, went to the right, got Plumlee to sort of buy into his move there, and he was able to go left around him under the basket. But it was perfect timing. Pascal Siakam was cutting to the basket from the free throw line, and he hit Pascal with a pass, and Pascal just dunked it in wide open, and it was a beautiful play. I mean, when Fred and Pascal get going in their little two-man game, there might be nothing sweeter as a Raptor fan, but again, sadly, I just think they go to it a little bit too often. But this was a time that it worked out nicely, and Mr. Van Vliet got rewarded with a nice assist on Pascal Siakam's dunk. So yeah, there's my top 3 plays of the game. Now let's talk about ranking, going through, and we're going to give these starter guys a number. Again, this is something that I would love to hear some comments on if you guys disagree with what I think. And a little bit of it's going to be eyeball, a little bit of it's going to be based on stats. I think that's fair. So let's just go through. I'm going to do it in the order on which they are listed in the box score, and I usually use the NBA.com's box score in case anybody cares. So, going through OG and an OB, and first of all, OG, I gotta just comment because the Raptors do this too often, and OG had a really bad one this game where he creates a bunch of steals. I mean, he's leading the NBA in steals, so obviously these plays come up more often, but he gets the steal and then tries to do too much. Guys, if we get the steal and you're dribbling it down and there's 2 defenders there or 3 defenders there, why are you going to try and muscle it in and try and dunk it? That is a wasted possession when you get, deflected or blocked or miss. It's not cool. It's not good. It's so great that we have these extra possessions in the first place. I don't think we should waste them. If you need to, set up the offense and let's run a play. We don't need to try to crowbar in. Obviously, when you get the steal and you're one-on-one or you got the nice lead, I mean, we all see those beautiful OG. He loves to do the backwards dunk when he's got on the clean break. Those are fantastic. But yeah, when you get that steal and you're running down there and there's 2, 3 defenders that get back in time, or maybe they were, already back because your steal was a little bit deeper. We don't need to try and jam it in. Gary Trent Jr., you should also listen to. You're guilty of that. I mean, again, great that you guys are getting the steals. Please don't take it the wrong way. But so yeah, OG's first on my list here. He ended up with 15 points. He was only 3 for 8 from 3. He had, what else? 2 offensive rebounds, 2 defensive rebounds, so 4 rebounds total, 4 assists. 4 steals, though, in this game, which is really good. And a nice block, actually. I remember his block. Oh, that was a beautiful timing. But 2 turnovers and 3 personal fouls. So, with 15 points, I'm going to give OG a 6. I don't know if I'm going to get into 0.5s. I love the decimals when we're ranking things out of 10. So, maybe I will even go 6.5. Yeah, let's give him a 6.5. Because, it's not like he had a bad game. I'd say anything kind of over 4 is going to be a decent game, and then as you get closer to 10, of course, it's a beautiful game. But I got to leave some room for when OG goes off and ends up with 38, 42 points or something and 6 steals. So yeah, let's give him a 6.5. I'm going to say it's Mr. Scotty Barnes. I was genuinely shocked at his 21 points, but he had 9 assists, 8 rebounds, 2 offensive rebounds, 6 defensive rebounds, 4 fouls, no turnovers though, pretty good, and he was a plus 15. So Scotty Barnes, Scotterino, let's label him at like a 7.5. Oh my gosh, I'm saying, am I going to use 0.5s? And I've used 0.5s on both of my first 2 numbers. That is pretty sad, embarrassing. Okay, but obviously I like the 0.5ers. Mr. Pascual Siakam is next on my list here. He had 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 block, 4 turnovers, 2 fouls, but 35 points. He was a plus 6. So based on its own, I got to give Pascal a solid 8. I think I'm going to give Pascal an 8. Maybe I should do an 8.5. But yeah, I mean, 35 points is pretty sweet. So you know what? Actually, I'm going to bump that up. I'm going to say 8.5. So then we got 0.5s on all 3. Gary Trent Jr., and this is a new thing. So anyway, we'll get these numbers a little more consistent as we go. But hey, we're going to learn together. So again, please comment on what you guys think the numbers should be, and we'll likely only do the starting lineup for the Raptors. But hey, if you like it, I'm happy to rate the opponent starters as well. But yeah, Gary Trent Jr. ended up with 1 rebound, 1 assist, 2 steals, 19 points. He was a plus 6. So, Gary Boberry, yeah, you know what? You were sort of less active defensively, but the 19 points, I'm going to give you a 6 because I want more points out of you, Gary Trent Jr., and I also want a couple steals, so, a couple more steals. So, yeah, Gary, you're getting a 6. And Mr. Van Vliet, I'm going to give you a 5. I mean, you had 5 rebounds, you had 8 assists, you got 2 steals, 1 turnover, 4 fouls, and only 11 points, although you did hit that 3 at the end there. All right, Mr. Van Vliet, I'm going to give you a straight 6, a 6 even, okay? I was going to say a 5.5, but because of that 3 at the end, I'm bumping that up to a 6. So there you go. I think if I can recap this properly, please tell me if I get these wrong, but I've given OG a 6.5. I'm giving Scotty Barnes a 7.5. I'm giving Pascal Siakam an 8.5. I'm giving Gary Trent Jr. I might have said 6, but you know what? I'll give you a 6.5 also. And then I got Fred Van Vliet at an even 6. So how do you like that? 4 out of 5 have 0.5s. I guess I'm going to be using the 0.5s. I'll try not to go too crazy though and use like 0.7s, 0.8s, and everything like that. I'll try and round them at 0.5 or 0. But I can't promise. Who knows? You know what? I'm flying by the seat of my pants on these broadcast things, and again, I don't have enough feedback from the client, from the audience. So please, hit me with a like, hit me with a subscribe, hit me with a comment. Really appreciate it. Mr. Beast for President, and I will check you guys on the next one. Thank you very much for watching. Check out my Raptors in black and white here, and check out subscribe over here. Thanks, guys.